key question, because when people have the liberty and freedom not to have to think about certain things that pressure them, they seem like they have more aspects to be able to think creative. Where some people, when they're under pressure, that's what comes, that's what flows out of them, creativity. So it's really good to know the dimensions of your heart, especially when the Lord's dealing with you, and to mark those things, because while we're not into laws and patterns per se, I think that's God's way of sometimes saying, hey, this is where I like to meet you. I just like to meet you here. So therefore I meet you. Well, how about you, Nicholas? I've actually had an opportunity to sing one of your songs recently, which I really enjoy. And I know you've written a couple before I left. Before I left, should I say, before you had left and had gone to Washington State to play with the band when you were here before. How do you come about with songs? Anything that you had that you want to add to what Amadi actually said about songwriting?
Sure. For me individually, it's all over the place, but there's certain things that can trigger it. Like for me with music, sometimes I'll see something in nature, say, it's like I'm especially creative during like the fall season, because I'm seeing leaves with all different colors falling. I don't know why that is, but I just see something and it'll trigger the creative part of my mind. Or another way is I listen to other music, other musicians all the time, and when I do that, it will trigger creativity in me, not necessarily to copy them, but I will write something on my own that might be completely different, but the door is open, the key is unlocked musically for me. For lyrics, for me, it's writing is more to me about listening, because you hear phrases that are catchy or hooky every day, and most people aren't listening or hearing it. They're just going about their business. And it's something that I'm constantly, if you're listening and you're paying attention for it, it'll come. And when it does, just jot down. It might be one sentence, might be, a whole verse, might be a whole song. It depends.
Wow.
I'll just write down a rough draft and then edit it from there and just carve something out.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So even in the area of music, we have to hear from God. That's what I hear Nick saying. We definitely have to hear from God. And you're right. There's so many cliches. You hear so many things out there, and you wonder, and you hear a line in music, and you're like, I've heard that before. But what actually captures the heart is truth. What actually captures the heart is somebody saying something that captures somebody who's so bombarded with so many different things and so busy that it just sort of captures their desires and say, this is speaking to you, isn't it? And that person answered yes in the spirit, and it just happens very fast. Well, I heard Amadi say something in the very beginning of the introduction. He says, he's been in Christian music. Let's talk about Christian music. What makes music Christian? Amadi, what do you think?
The individual that is actually doing the music. It's just like if a person owns a dry cleaning company. It's the heart of the individual. If the heart of the individual is captured by the Lord Jesus, then that which flows from it, is only going to be that. It's going to be what's in their heart. So if the person, is just somebody who's singing inspirational or whatever, but they're not really devoted to the Lord in their heart, it's not really Christian music. That's just somebody who's making music, And you can make music and it not be Christian music. Just make music, you know what I mean? But from somebody whose heart is devoted to the Lord, what's in your heart is going to come out. You can't, not. It's like I speak English, so the stuff I make is going to be in English. It's not going to be in another language because I speak no other language. Right. It's the same thing with that. So.
Yes, Nick. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Sure. That's a great example. It is. A lot of it is in the heart. Who you are and what you are is what comes out. And there's been times when I've listened to quote-unquote secular music, and for some reason wanted to seek the Lord, go and pray, And there's been times where I've listened to Christian music, the quote unquote, and I've just been bored and
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily spiritually activated at the time, and it's a lot of it's in the heart. I would say only as far as addition is that a lot of times it's more of a label, because we've made this great divide,
Right.
and a lot of that has to do with just we like to, when something comes out that's considered a style, we like to compartmentalize it and create a style and say this is what it is,
Right.
and
Right.
create a little box and formation around it, so then we can market it
Right.
as such. So I think, yeah, what he's saying is true, and it's also a term.
So basically, it's like a coined phrase you're saying. So when I
Mhm.
say a name like Stevie Wonder, Michael Bolton, Bon Jovi,
Right.
okay, when I say names like that, your first thought is, for a lot of people, I'm sure, if you've been in the faith for a long time, you don't think Christian. Because I'm not aware that these people are Christians.
Mm-hmm.
But yet I think inspiration. I mean, there's some songs that Stevie Wonder has sung that inspires me, Now, there's some songs that other men and women have sung. Which the Hero, I remember when that song was first sung. I mean, it almost made me cry. When I was driving, I was listening to it because it spoke to me. So it's apparent that songs are used as a vehicle to lift us up, to heal, to inspire, but most importantly, to send a message. And that's the part I think is key. But I definitely agree with you guys. I'm in agreement that it's the heart that makes music Christian. And one of the things I've discovered is I've had a lot of music that has Christian labels on it, but I actually felt depressed after I listened to it.
Right.
So you wonder, how can you feel depressed when a person said Jesus, when a person said God? Because just because someone say Jesus and God, to me, that doesn't make the music Christian. It basically, the creativity of the Holy Spirit, the inspiration of the Holy Spirit comes out of a person's spirit. And when a person is free enough to release their spirit, I feel like that can pass on life to many. I just recently went to a Coldplay concert, and when I looked around, Coldplay's not a Christian band, it's a secular band, but I looked around and I saw a lot of happy people. I saw husband and wives, girlfriends and boyfriends holding hands doing songs, and I'm thinking, what actually is the message of this song? What is the message? What is the message they're trying to relay? And I think it's good that we experience the Lord in every dimension. So that way I think we'll have a more holistic view, Do you believe that the message, Amadi, in your music is most important? Or do you believe that the key is to have a beat that people remember?
I don't think that it's the beat. I think it is the message tied to a lifestyle. It's in the New Testament, Paul makes a statement. He says that I beat my body into submission so that after I preach, my running would not be in vain, or something to that effect, like my preaching would not be in vain. Mm-hmm. And, he was saying that I practice what I preach. It's a lifestyle before it became a message. And so I think we get caught up in the making the music sound good. And you want to make the music sound good. You don't want to put out something that doesn't sound, pleasing, because there is an entertainment sort of an aspect to it. But if I were to just get up from some sinful act and 10 minutes later record a Christian song, quote unquote, with Christian lyrics, does that classify it as Christian music, or is it my lifestyle that leads up to what I'm about to do that makes the music Christian? You see, so the message tied to a lifestyle is you know, probably the essential element